Week 4 of the NFL season's in the books, and boy, we got some takeaways and reactions. Last week, I went 11-5 on my predictions, and that's going to put my current record and predictions on 39-25. So, starting off the week, Thursday Night Football, you had the Cowboys beating the Giants 20-15, and honestly, neither team looked very good in this game. I mean, the Giants expected to not look good, but the Cowboys, they barely beat a team like the Giants. And the Giants didn't even do anything special. They kicked 5 field goals, and that's the only way they were able to score. And yeah, I'm definitely concerned for both these teams, but especially the Cowboys. Moving on, we got the Bengals getting their first one of the season, knocking off the Panthers 34-24. And this was an Andy Dalton revenge game against the Bengals, which the Bengals ultimately won. And I think the Bengals are back offensively, at least. Defense, I still have some concerns, but offense, they were, firing on all cylinders. You have Jamar Chase, you have T. Higgins, you have obviously Joe Burrow. The run game didn't look too shabby. So I think, if they can string together a couple of victories, they can be right back in Super Bowl contention. As for the Panthers, let's be honest, I don't know who thought the Panthers are going to win this game, but at least they were competitive. At least they put up points. Andy Dalton looked pretty solid for them, and maybe the Panthers can be competitive the rest of the season. Moving on, we got the Falcons eking out a win against the Saints, and Saints, what the hell? You guys had this one. And, you just let the Falcons win this one. You basically gift-wrapped it to them. The Falcons had 2 non-offensive touchdowns at least. They might have been 3 I don't know. I'm trying to think. Or no, wait, they only had 2 touchdowns. And they were both non-offensive touchdowns. They finished the day with 0 offensive touchdowns. But the Saints just kept turning the ball over, and the Falcons' defense and special teams was playing phenomenal in the end of the game. The Saints, they were up by 1, and the Falcons had a grand total of 0 yards on their final drive. But the Saints committed a dumb penalty, giving the Falcons an opportunity for a 60-something yard field goal, and Younghoe Koo able to win that for the Falcons. And a win's a win, but I'm really concerned about the Falcons offense. 0 offensive touchdowns, that's bad. Moving on, we got the Texans beating the Jags 24-20, and the Jags aren't a very good team, but the Texans were able to pull out a victory, so credit to them. They definitely got some shit they need to work on, because they should be beating a team like the Jags by more than 4 points. But, I guess it is a division rival, and, these games are always competitive. And, as for the Jags, at least you were competitive. Last game you got blown the fuck out by the Bills, and at least this game, Trevor Lawrence didn't look completely terrible. He wasn't great, but he definitely looked better this week than last, and that's really all you can ask for. And the Texans, Nico Collins is a dog. He is just unbelievable when it comes to, catching the ball, and I think he still has the most yards in the NFL for a receiver, if I'm correct. But yeah, good win for the Texans. They definitely have some things to clean up, and Jags, at least you're competitive. Oh boy, do I have some things to say about this. The Broncos beat the Jets by 1 point. They won this game 10-9 on the road. And I am going to be honest, I have no idea how we won this game. I'm a Broncos fan, by the way, but we did nothing. We did nothing offensively. Our defense was unbelievable. We didn't allow a single touchdown. We only gave up 9 points on the road. That's pretty damn good. And, that's really, the defense was fine. Our defense looks like a top 10 unit right now. We've only given up 13 points or less in each of our last 3 games. And, that just shows how good our defense can be. But our offense, like, holy shit, you guys are bad. I have no idea how you won this game. But Penix had 60 yards in the entire game. That's really, really bad. I mean, granted, he finally didn't turn the ball over, and he did throw his first passing touchdown in this game, but oh my gosh, like, how do you only score 10 points and have 60 passing yards? Like, that is ugly shit right there. But, I mean, I can't complain him too much. I mean, you did beat a quality opponent on the road, so credit to you guys, but man, you are not going to win many games only throwing 60 passing yards on the road very often. Our next game, we have the Vikings beating the Packers 31-29. And I mean, I think we're all saying the same thing. Vikings, you won, but you almost choked in humiliating fashion. I mean, if you look at the box score there, the Packers really only had one good quarter, that being the fourth. I mean, the Vikings dominated the first half. And I mean, they had a commanding lead, which, you know, is great and all, but you'd like to see him close out a game by, you know, more than 2 points when you're up by that much. But like I said with the Broncos, a win is a win, and the Vikings are one of only 2 teams in the NFL to be 4-0, so congratulations to them. As for the Packers, honestly, you guys should not have started Jordan Love. I know you guys almost came back and won, but he looked awful in the first half. And I think a major reason why he looked so good in the second half was more the Vikings playing prevent defense rather than Jordan Love actually really doing much. I mean, yeah, you guys, you should not have started him. I feel like you're just risking potential, you know, further injury down the road. You should have started Malik Willis. But, I mean, at least you made it competitive, but I mean, you just don't rush your guy back that you just paid, you know, to be the highest paid quarterback in NFL history. I mean, it's not worth it. Speaking of injuries, the Colts able to beat the Steelers 27-24, and Anthony Richardson went down in the second quarter with an injury. And Joe Flacco came in and was able to propel those Colts to a victory. And obviously, I hope Anthony Richardson recovers smoothly. And I mean, congratulations to the Colts for winning against an undefeated at the time team with a backup quarterback. Definitely not some easy stuff there. So congrats to Indy to improve to 2-2. And as for the Steelers, I mean, I think this was just a trap game. I mean, you guys, I thought for sure you guys were going to win this game. I mean, it was on the road, but I mean, it's not like the Colts have an unbelievable home field advantage or anything like that. And you were undefeated, and you usually win games that are close like this, but this time the Steelers came up short and received their first loss of the season. Our next game, you got the Bears beating the Rams 24-18, and I mean, congratulations to the Bears. I mean, they won, and this was the first game where Caleb Williams actually looked really solid. I mean, he got a win, which is obviously great, but he definitely has not looked great this year so far, but this game was definitely a breath of fresh air for Bears fans. And as for the Rams, I mean, honestly, you guys are so injured and your defense is not very good. Ever since you lost Aaron Donald to retirement, you know, you guys just haven't been the same. And Puka and Cooper Kupp obviously are injured. You guys are just, you know, trying to get to the offseason, if I'm being honest. I don't know how to you know, really break you guys down. I mean, you're so damn injured. Like, I think it's only a matter of time until, you know, it starts to really unravel. I mean, I guess the guys could come back, but you guys need Puka back. You need Cooper Kupp back, and you just need to get healthy. That's the big thing with the Rams. Moving on, we got the Bucks beating the Eagles 33-16. And Baker Mayfield, after a humiliating loss to the Broncos last week, able to bounce right back and beat the Eagles by 17. The Bucks looked phenomenal on offense, and their defense able to shut down Jalen Hurts and the Eagles. And congratulations to them. They're atop the NFC South, and they look like the division winner, favorites right now. As for the Eagles, I mean, this is bad. This is really bad. I mean, I understand that you guys didn't have A.J. Brown or Devontae Smith in this game to help, your offense out, but, you guys fucking suck. You don't know how to play against good teams. And you and your stupid head coach, Nick Sirianni, does not do shit for your team. He just sits there and, just does nothing, I feel like. You think a good head coach, I'm not saying you guys had to win this game, but, you think a good head coach would at least be competitive, but no, Nick Sirianni just, he doesn't do anything. He just sits there, and whenever his players don't bail him out, he just is... he has nothing, he can't do anything. He's just there, and he can't do anything. And I think it's honestly only a matter of time before he gets fired. Moving on, we got our first 4 o'clock game. We got the 49ers beating the Patriots 30-13. There's really no major takeaways here. The 49ers did what was expected of them. They beat the Patriots. The Patriots are rebuilding. They're not very good. 49ers are trying to get back on track with a win, which they did. So, yeah, nothing too crazy here. Congratulations to the 49ers for winning. And, as for the Patriots, you couldn't expect to win a game like this, with your talent deficit to the 49ers and all that. So, yeah, nothing too crazy here. Moving on, we got a big takeaway here. The Commanders crushing the Cardinals 42-14. And Jaden Daniels is him. He is unbelievable. He's like the CJ Stroud of this year. CJ Stroud was a rookie last year, and he was unbelievable. Jaden Daniels is, that guy this year, except honestly, he might be better. He has been on a tear. He only has 1 interception so far this season. And their offense, the Commanders' offense, just looks so efficient. I've never seen the Commanders look like this before. And it's honestly really cool to see, because, it's cool to see teams that aren't usually very good have, moments like this. So congratulations to them. And if I'm being honest, I honestly think the Commanders can win the NFC East, because the Cowboys and Eagles don't look very good. And the Commanders could honestly surprise some people and win that division. As for the Cardinals, I definitely am not super surprised you lost this game. I did think you were going to win, but... you are a rebuilding team, and I get that, but, your offense, you guys didn't do anything. The Commanders don't have that good of a defense. They're not, bad, but they're definitely not the greatest. And, I expected more points out of the Cardinals' offense. Their defense, I understand, sucks, but their offense, I thought, would put up a little more of a fight, but they just didn't really do much in this game. Moving on, we got the Chiefs able to get their 4th victory, beating the Chargers 17-10, and the Chargers, honestly, they just let this slip away from them. They had the Chiefs right where they wanted them. They were up 10-0. The Chiefs didn't really do much. Rashee Rice even got injured in the middle of the game, so you'd think with an opportunity like that, Jim Harbaugh and the Chargers would pounce on the opportunity, but instead they just, let the Chiefs hang around for too long, and this is what happens when you play them and you don't, take care of business for 60 minutes of football. They will find a way to win. And, they don't look that good right now, but, the thing that matters the most is they are 4-0, and, you could argue they're the best team right now, even though they have not played their best football. And this is one of those losses where, you just have to look back on it and be like, how did we lose that game? Because, you're playing a Chiefs team that's not playing very good. So you'd think, a Chargers team that has a hotshot head coach and Jim Harbaugh is going to take advantage of that, but they didn't really do that in this game. So, congrats to the Chiefs. I hate you guys, but you are 4-0, and, you're one of 2 teams to not have losses this year, so congratulations to you guys, I guess. Moving on, we got the Raiders beating the Browns 20-16, and I believe the Raiders didn't even have Max Crosby in this game as well, so that really shows how well they played in this game if they won without one of their best players. They didn't have Devontae Adams either, So a great win by the Raiders. And I mean, this is one of those games where the Browns just let it slip away. And they were up 10-0, just like the Chargers were against the Chiefs, except this is worse. I mean, the Browns, in my opinion, have a way better roster than the Raiders do. So I don't know how you don't win a game like this. I mean, I understand Deshaun Watson's not the greatest quarterback, but, you got to find a way to win. They even had a fumble recovery for 6 by your defense. So it's not even really your defense's fault. It's just the offense. All the drops and the penalties, you just can't get away with playing football like that. And, the Browns are 1-3, and it's honestly not that surprising. I mean, they have not played a genuinely good game of football this year. I mean, their win against the Jags was kind of whatever. They lost to the Giants last week. And then week 1, they didn't, win either. So you just have to look at this team and wonder what the hell is wrong with them besides Deshaun Watson, because it's not all his fault. I mean, there's definitely other things wrong with this team that they need to take care of. Moving on, we got the Ravens blowing out the Bills 35-10, winning 2 in a row, and the Bills losing their first game of the season. And, I mean, this game was definitely a shock to me. I thought for sure the Bills would win. I mean, I didn't think they would win like this against the Ravens, let alone lose like this. But, I thought they would come out on top. But instead, the Ravens shocking everybody. And they won by 25. And a big reason why is because Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry combined is a deadly running combination. I mean, you just have to pick your poison with the two, because one will bulldoze you and outrun you, and one will, juke you out and outrun you, and you just don't know who they're going to run with every time. So I think this was, the first real game where you could see the potential of this offense with Derrick and Lamar. As for the Bills, I mean, this is not good. I mean, you guys just did not look good on offense, and I think part of that was because your defense played bad too. And I think when your defense plays as bad as the Bills' defense played last night or on Sunday night, it rushes the offense. And, the Bills you can't play rushed offense if you don't have a guy like Stephon Diggs or a guy like Tyreek Hill or Justin Jefferson or a guy that can be Mr. Bills don't really have a guy like that. And that's a big problem with this team. And because Josh Allen's great. I mean, honestly, I would not put this loss on him. I mean, he's like the one person I would not put the loss on. Everyone else, though, I mean, the receivers were dropping easy passes. Their defense couldn't stop a nosebleed. And, you just have to wonder how it's going to look for them these upcoming weeks. All right, our first Monday night game. Hopefully this is last week. There's 2 Monday night games. I honestly don't like it this way. You got the Titans beating the Dolphins 31-12. And, I mean, congratulations to the Titans. They got their first win of the season. And they're not 0-4. There's only one 0-4 team, and that's their division rival Jags. And Titans, I mean, they didn't do much in this game, but they did get a win, so congratulations to them. And you can't complain about 31 points in a game when you have a guy like Will Levis who still isn't playing that great. He had a mind-boggling turnover in this game, I believe, as well as the other last 3 games that they played. So definitely still some concerns there, but you guys can definitely enjoy this win. I mean, a 19-point win is nothing to scoff at. As for the Dolphins, yeah, this is not good. You guys might be the worst team in the NFL without Tua. I kind of dunked on Tua a couple of months ago and said that he wasn't the guy, but they need him. This team is nothing without him. They have no offensive line, and usually teams with backup quarterbacks are worse, but they're not this much worse. There is something up with the Dolphins besides not having your starting quarterback. I mean, Tua definitely covered up a lot of issues on this team, and I think this is going to be a long season for the Dolphins if Tua doesn't come back. And even if he does, I mean, it's still pretty concerning that they're losing like this to a team like the Titans that's not very good, all because the starting quarterback isn't playing. I mean, I know the starting quarterback's important, but I mean, you should not be like the sole reason you're winning games. And I think we're seeing how important Tua is to the Dolphins. A lot more than I expected, if I'm being honest. All right, our final game is what I imagine the game of the week is the Lions beating the Seahawks 42-29, an extremely high-scoring game. And as for the Lions, I mean, you guys have an unbelievable offense, and you were able to cook a Mike Macdonald coach defense. And, you got to be happy about about the offense, in fact, because Jared Goff completed every single pass. Amon-Ra St. Brown had a really good game. Jahmyr Gibbs had a really good game. And, you just know that they were dying for a game like this. And they were able to beat the Seahawks for once. They always struggle against the Seahawks, but they were able to get the job done. And, it feels good for the Lions to beat the Seahawks, because the Seahawks have had their number the last few times that they've played the Lions. So congratulations to the Lions. As for the Seahawks, you guys received your first loss this season. That's obviously not fun. But at the same time, I mean, you are playing against a Super Bowl contender, and this is the first real team I feel like the Seahawks have played. I mean, the first three teams they played, three of the worst teams in the NFL, but the Lions, they're an actual test. And like I said, I mean, I had a feeling the Seahawks wouldn't win this game just because I don't think they're that good. But honestly, I mean, I was kind of impressed with them. I mean, they were a lot more competitive than I thought they would be. I mean, the final score isn't great, but Geno Smith played unbelievable. Their offense definitely was not the issue in this game. It was the defense, as they just couldn't stop Jared Goff and the Lions, which, I mean, to be fair, a lot of teams can't. So tough loss for them, but honestly, they could be good, and they could be good in the next few weeks. I mean, I might not write them off yet. And that is going to do it for my weekly reaction or takeaways, whatever you want to call it. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you guys tomorrow for my CFP video, my college football playoff video.